Now, part A, program number 5. Write a C program to convert and print a given valid fully parenthesized infix expression to postfix expression. Fully parenthesized infix arithmetic expression to postfix. So each of the sub expression you can try giving a parenthesis, and the like overall expression also we will be. I don't know, even if the parentheses are not there, we will be inserting a parenthesis. If you are trying with a fully parenthesized expression also, you can try. Okay, if the whole expression is enclosed within a left and right parenthesis also, this program will be working. Okay, so it will be automatically inserting one more parenthesis. To compensate each of the left parenthesis, there will be a right parenthesis. That's it. So here, this is part A, program number 5. And you can write today's date, 23rd July. Usually, whenever we are executing that day's program, that day's date you have to mention in your observation. Okay. Some have the habit of writing. That is good. Now we are going to type the program. So take a new program, and then so those who are taken the screenshot, I know you will be taking screenshot when I'm explaining, and you will not listen only. So now you listen carefully. When we are typing only, we will understand the program. Okay. So if you just write down whatever it's seen in the screen, you will not understand. Okay. So now this is a program for converting the infix to a postfix expression. So the first, anyway, we will be including the header file. So now in this, we have, we will be using one symbolic constant. So we'll be defining it as hash define. Name of the variable is max. The constant is max, and we can declare any size, 20, 25, anything. Okay. So this is going to be the constant size of the array variable. So you will be declaring a character array called stack, and the size of that is defined by this max. Okay. And you can declare one variable called top, which is initialized, that is initialized to the index number of the first element in the stack. Okay, wherever we are using in the stack. And we are going to define some variables, functions. So the functions, we will put it above. What are the functions? You will be using a push function for which the arguments will be. What will be the arguments? The character stack will be the one argument. No, sorry. Character ch will be the argument for the push operation. And for pop, we will be popping out of a character or like the operators or the operators present in the stack. So you will be using an integer to output the character value. That is, we will be returning a ASCII value of the operators. Why we are returning an ASCII value? Why we are returning an ASCII value? Then no, there in the precedence also we will be checking with the ASCII value. Got it? So then only we can check with the precedence, which operator is having more precedence. Okay. Here then one more function which we are using is precede, right? Precede. So for the precede also, we will be passing the character or the operators in order to check the precedence, right? So these are the three functions which we will be making use of in this program. So after that, we are declaring a global variable. What are the global variables which we are going to declare? A character array and a variable called top in order to indicate the index number of the topmost variable. So when the stack is empty, it will be pointing to -1. Here we are just pointing it to the index number 0. Why? Because we are going to perform a push operation. A left parenthesis, we are going to directly push it without any increment. That's why we are initializing it to 0. All of you listen here. Top is initialized to 0. Got it? Because I had explained that top will be pointing to -1 when the stack is empty. But now we are directly pushing a left parenthesis onto the stack without any increment. If you are making it -1 over here, we have to first increment and then you have to push the left parenthesis. I'll tell you where it is. So we are starting the program. In the program, inside the program, we will be using another another character array called infix to accept the infix expression. Got it? So this stack is used only to push the operators and the left parenthesis. Infix expression you are getting in a character array called infix. Got it? And we can use another variable called character variable called ch. So now what we will do is we will ask the user to enter the infix expression. So in between, I'll be asking questions. So be careful. Like don't sit and do any other work. No, I'll be marking absent also. So here, after this, we'll be accepting the expression in the form of a string. Listen here. I will be accepting the infix expression in the form of a string. So what should be the format specifier? What should be the format specifier for string? Kirti, what is the format specifier for string? Kirti, I don't want 2 hours today, to complete it. So I'll be asking question. Kirti, are you there? Never I have got any reply from you. Kirti, are you there? You are virtually present. Answer my question. What is the format specifier for string? She's absent, right? The whole recording is there. If you have any doubts, you can come and ask me. When I'm asking, you should answer me. If you are not answering, I'll mark it as absent. You can claim it anywhere. You can ask, complain to brother or anybody. I have the recording over here. Okay, so Kirti is not there. Then Lavanya, can you tell me what is the format specifier for string? Lavanya. Lavanya, are you there? Not there, right? No answer. Navya, are you there? Navya. Navya is absent already. So some of you had messaged in the chat box. It is percentages, right? To accept a string, you will be using percentages, right? Then in which character array we are going to accept the string? Lavanya, now no use. If you raise your hand, infix. So you will be using an ampersand, and then you can accept the string in the expression, infix expression in a character array called infix. Got it? Now, after this, what you are going to do? You accepted the expression, infix expression. After this, you will be you will be inserting a left parenthesis. What is the first step? You will be inserting you will be pushing a left parenthesis onto the stack. This is our left parenthesis. You will be inserting a left parenthesis onto the stack. So you see, you are putting the left parenthesis within single quote and pushing it using the push function. We have to define. You already declared a push function. You are calling it. You have to define it down. Now, after this, we are using a variable called j in order to get the length of the expression, string length, str. You can get the string length before also. I am giving it over here. Infix expression, the length of the infix expression, you are getting in a variable called j. Got it? So this variable j, which you are using, you have to declare it over here. Okay. Now we are so we accepted the string expression. We found the length of the expression. Now using a for loop, we are going to scan 1 characters of the expression for I equal to 0. So as it is in a character array, we will be starting the index position from 0, right? Then up to which you will be going up to I less than j. J is the length of the infix expression. You will be going less than j means if the length of the expression is 5, you will be going up to index position 4, right? Because we are starting the index position from 0. Then in each iteration, we will be incrementing the value of I. Now, so suppose we want to accept the, or we will scan the first character. How to get the first character? Now you are using a variable called ch. You are copying the first character from the infix, the array which is named as infix, right? So which variable will determine the index position here? Which variable will determine the index position? Arun K. Which variable I should use in the square bracket to get the first character of the infix expression or the first symbol of the infix expression? Arun K, are you there? Arun, are you there? I can see in the participants list. Can you message in the chat box which is a variable? L. I am not using only. Arun, your friends might have typed capital I. Arun, where is L? Which is the variable over here? I never used L. I'm asking which variable I should be using in order to. Arun, you can unmute and speak. I don't want this much quiet students when I'm taking online class. Gautam has answered I. What is the first value of I? I should be using I, correct. So what is the first value of I? Gautam Manjunath. What is the first value of I in this for loop? If you can't answer this, you need not write exam. Next week, no, directly I will give you fail mark. What is the first value? 0. Okay, so here I value is 0. So infix of 0 will be copying the first character of the infix expression, which is accepted in the form of a string. Okay, so now we are going to, so we scanned the first character. Now we are going to check whether the ch what we have accepted, what is what type of whether it is an operator, operand, or left parenthesis or right parenthesis, right? So here, what is the first thing we will be checking? Whether it is an operand. Operand means you will be directly what you will be doing directly. You are going to check using an inbuilt function is num, right? So whether it is an alphabet or a numeric value. So if it is an alphabetic or a numeric value, what you are supposed to do? What you are supposed to do? GeoLAS, if it is an alphabet or a numeric value, what does it mean? Whether it is an operator or is an operand, or whether it is a left or right parenthesis. GeoLAS, answer me. What does it mean? If I equal to is alphabet num, no, it turns to true of ch. I told you to unmute and speak. GeoLAS, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
GeoLAS.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me whether it is a operator or operand. How you can make out whether it is an operator or an operand? If is al num of ch returns true, then what does it mean?
It's a operand. It's operand.
It is a operator.
Operand.
So operand can be either, what you tell, whether it can be an alphabet or a numerical value, right? Operands can be either an alphabet or a numerical value. So if it turns out to be true, if it is an operand, what you are supposed to do, GeoLAS?
Ma'am, 1 second.
If it is an operand, what we are supposed to do? Answers are not coming. If it is an operand, what you are supposed to do? 1 second.
Ma'am.
Very easy. If it is an operand, what you are supposed to do? This at
We can.
that day you told me every day, ma'am, I'll be sending you notes. Huh? Did you tell me like that? Huh?
Ma'am,
If it is an operand, we have to print that operand, right? As soon as it is coming, like when we are scanning, if you are finding it is an operand, you have to print, right? Print up, then percentage C, because you are printing it as a character, you are giving a percentage C, and then which variable now it will be having the character which is scanned CH, right? So we are printing it. Okay. So if it is a operand, you will be printing. I am giving bracket for each of those lines. Only one line means we need not give, but still. Now, else if. Now, what is the other condition? If it is not an operand, what are the other possible things? Dear Las, tell me, other than operand, what all things will be there in an expression? I'm not going to leave you. Unmute and keep. Geolas, tell me what is the other things? What else will be there? What are the other symbols which are present in?
Right operator, right parenthesis.
Right
Sorry.
parenthesis. Then what else?
Left. Ma'am.
Left. So he is like little scared to tell left parenthesis. CH, if CH is equal to left parenthesis, then what we are supposed to do? Now the whole program you are going to type. If it is left parenthesis, you can read from this. No, if you wrote notes and all are complete, right? I am posting the daily topic. Yesterday's also I had posted the videos. So tell me, if it is left parenthesis, what I am supposed to do?
Discard the pair of parentheses.
Eh?
Ma'am, on top, push incoming operator.
Incoming operator. What is the fourth point? Directly it is given. I don't know what you're reading. If incoming symbol is left parenthesis, then
push. We have to use push.
Push what I have to push it onto the stack? What
incoming operator, ma'am.
Incoming operator. I have I got left parenthesis as an incoming symbol. You are talking about operator.
Ma'am, stack, sorry, ma'am.
What I should push into the stack? The whole thing, no, one example I'll make you write on the board and you have to explain. Okay. When you come for the offline classes, all are waiting for offline classes, right? Because after all your exam, 1 month will be over, then again, when I am taking, I cannot repeat it again. So you people will be teaching. I have proof of teaching. You will be teaching the whole thing again. So if it is a left parenthesis, you have to push the left parenthesis onto the stack, not operator. We didn't get any operator. So how to push the left parenthesis onto the stack? You have to use the push function and you have to pass CH, because in CH we have read the left parenthesis. If CH is equal to left parenthesis, we will be pushing the CH onto the stack. Okay, so this will be our second condition, that is if it is not an operand and if it is a left parenthesis. And the third case will be like I told in this in the if statement, you can have as many else if as you want, but the default case will be our else, right? If it doesn't fall into these two categories, it can be if we are giving it as an else condition. In this, you are going to list out what are the other possible symbols which will be present in an infix expression. You can have a right parenthesis. We saw left parenthesis, but in a right parenthesis may be present. So in order to check if it is the red character is equal to a right parenthesis, you should not get changed. That you should be very careful while typing this program. If it is a right parenthesis, what we are supposed to do? Nisha, today she is listening. She is messaging. Nisha, tell me what is your, if it is a right parenthesis, what you are supposed to do? Nisha,
Yes.
even if it is wrong, no problem. You just tell me, try out. Read it from the previous notes. If it is a right parenthesis, what we are supposed to do?
Pop the stack and print the operators.
Yes, good. You have to pop out all the operators on top of the stack until, while it is not equal to the left parenthesis. So while you have to start with the condition that while the stack of stack top not equal to, there will be a left parenthesis in the stack. So until it is not equal to the left parenthesis, what you are supposed to do, you will be printing the popped. So you'll be popping out operator from top of the stack, and you will be printing it. So these two operations will be working out when you are giving a pop function, that is function call for the pop within a printf statement. Got it? So whenever a pop is called, it will be moving to the function definition, and the return value will be printed where we have given %C. Got it? So this is what is happening over here. So you will be printing the popped operator from the stack. So until it is not equal to left parenthesis. When it is equal to left parenthesis, what will happen? It will come out of this while loop and then do one more pop. Now what will be popped? On top of the stack, you have a left parenthesis, right? It will be popped off. It will be removed from the stack, but it will not be printed onto the display. I hope it is clear. So it is just print from the stack, and if those who have executed their example, you will understand. So here we will be popping out all the operators on top of the stack, and then we will be popping out the left parenthesis. Got it? So this is how if right parenthesis is encountered, or when we scan a right parenthesis, this much will happen. Now, what is the next case? We have dealt with the left parenthesis and operand and right parenthesis. Now, what else is remaining? Our main thing, which is an operator. So we are giving in the else part of this if. Got it? This is one if statement. For that one else statement, we are going to give. So this is coming in the else part of the main, the upper if statement which I had given. So this is an example of a nested if else statement, right? So you saw that here one if statement is there. In that I have an else if and an else. In the else part, I have another if statement, if else statement, right? So this is an example of a nested if. So next week you are going to write the exam, no? So that's why I'm correlating it with our topics in C. In else, what you will be doing? You know that if it is not a right parenthesis, then it will be a what is the remaining thing? Operator. So if it is an operator, what you are supposed to do? While. So we got all the possible conditions. We need not check whether it is an operator. It will be an operator. Only 4 things will be there in an expression. So we are going to catch the operator here. So now how to do with the operators? You know that operators, we have to check with the precedence. So you will be calling with I showed you in the morning class how to call the precedence function. So we are calling the character ch is having the operator. We are calling the function called precede with passing the operator. So if it is plus sign, it will move on to the function and then return 1, right? If it is lesser than or equal to precedence of the what we are going to compare, we are going to compare the precedence of the operator on top of the stack, right? If the precedence of the incoming operator is lesser than or equal to precedence of the topmost operator on the stack, then what you are supposed to do? So here one more bracket should be there. Be careful when you are putting the bracket. This is the while condition bracket, and inside you are having one this bracket. This is for the function precede. Okay, so if it is lesser than, what you will be doing? You will be popping out and printing, right? So in order to print the character on top of the stack, operator on top of the stack, you are using a %C, and then you will be using a pop function, same as what we have done for the above. So you'll be printing and popping. So you'll be popping out the operators from top of the stack, until that precedence becomes equal. When it is greater than, so in such a, so this while loop will be executed many times. In case if it is lower precedence means we will be popping out the topmost operator. Again, it will come and check whether the incoming operator is having the precedence lesser than the operator on top of the stack. If it is again lesser means again it will pop out. If it is equal precedence, suppose incoming operator is addition symbol and the top of the stack is having a subtraction symbol. Equal precedence means it will just pop out the addition or no, subtraction operator, and then it will come out of the while loop. And then what we will do, we will push the operator, right? The incoming operator. Suppose it is not lesser than, it is not equal to, then what will be the condition? The incoming operator will be having higher precedence. So it will not be moving on to this value. It will come out of, it will directly go and push the operator which is having higher precedence. I gave over here, right? If the incoming symbol is having higher precedence, only pushing into the stack is there. If it is having equal precedence or lower precedence, then we have to pop out and push. Okay, that's why we gave it like that. So this will come in the else part. So we have taken care of the operator if it comes, right? So now we are closing the, so we are pushing this one. In else part we are closing. So this closing is only for the else part. Okay, this closing. Now what is remaining? Which all brackets are to be closed? We have to close this else bracket, right? So I'm closing that else bracket over here. Now what else is remaining? You know that we have started a for statement, right? For. So all these are coming within the for statement. So here within this for, this statement. So this for also we have to close it. The entire thing is coming under that for loop. So we will be closing that for loop also. So when you come out of the for loop, one problem is there. You know that we have inserted or we have pushed one more left parenthesis into the stack in order to pop out that left parenthesis. So these two left and right parentheses are within the expression if you have some left and right parentheses. So when you come out of the for loop, you will be again left out with one more left parenthesis which we inserted at the beginning. So in order to pop out any operator which is there on the top of the stack before the left parenthesis, we will again do one more checking after coming out of the for loop. Listen here, after coming out of the for loop, we will be again checking if the stack of until stack of top is not equal to the left parenthesis in order to, because we had pushed one left parenthesis over here. Remember, after the expression we had pushed, after accepting the expression, we have pushed a left parenthesis onto the stack. So before, until that, just to check if there is any operator on top of that, we will be checking until the left parenthesis, we will be printing, popping out and printing all the operators on top of the stack. I hope it is clear. So one more time, we will be having the same coding. That is, after coming out of the for loop, we will be again doing one more printing, popping out and printing, and then we will be popping out the left parenthesis so that our stack is empty. Now, what bracket is remaining? So you will be printing the expression by this, and you might have got the postfix expression. So you should give one get ch, otherwise you will not see the expression. Understood? And to hold the screen, you have to give a get ch. And after this, you are closing the main bracket. Got it? Our main, we have to close it over there. So here, if you want to give a statement over here, now that we are going to print the postfix expression. So from here onwards, we will be printing the postfix expression, right? So when you complete this for loop, you will be getting the postfix expression. So for that, you can give a line, the postfix expression is, if you want to give it like that. Now, if you want to give a clear screen, you can give it over here, CLR, SCR. And what else? And new line characters, that you can obviously give that new line for the formatting you have to give. Okay. The postfix expression. So all these formatting also you have to do parallelly. So we closed the main bracket. What else is remaining now? So we have called many functions in between. You have to define all those functions, right? So which is the first one? We will define the precede function because precede is most commonly the most important function. No, I'll just write it first. The precede function, which will be accepting the character, right? You'll be accepting them like you'll be in the form of a character. You will be accepting the operators, right? So what is that we are doing inside the precede operator? You will be checking and using a switch case. You will be checking the characters present, right? Or the operator, whichever operator we are using, you will be checking the precedence, right? So we are going to have a case statement. If it is an addition operator, what you are supposed to do, right? And then if it is a subtraction operator, what you are supposed to do. If you are what you are supposed to return. If it is a multiplication, or if it is a division, and the other one is if it is a exponential operator, right? All these are the cases. And if you are entering any other operator other than this, the default, right? Default. So in case addition, what you will be doing, you will be returning. So as I told, as both plus and there is no error if you give a return over here also. But as addition and subtraction, no, it is of the same precedence. We will be giving the return precedence as 1, right? And then for multiplication and division, the same precedence. So we'll be giving it as return 2. And then for the exponential, no, we are going to give a higher precedence than the multiplication. So it is return 3. Then, and for the default, no, it is now we are not going to give any precedence like for any other operator. We are returning 0, right? So return 0. So these are the 4 cases, 6 cases. Default also we have dealt. Now we are closing the bracket for the switch case, and after that we are closing the bracket for the precedence, right? After that, now 2 more functions are remaining. That is, we have our push operation or the push function, into which we are pushing what we are pushing. Either it may be a left parenthesis or it may be a operand, right? So we are accepting as a character. And how we are doing the push operation, as I told, you will be in order to do the push operation, you have to increment the top index number, and then we are assigning the value ch. We are copying, or pushing is nothing but copying this value into the stack, right? Then, so this is the only thing which we have to do. Whatever character we are passing, no, whatever left parenthesis or operators we are passing, we will be incrementing the top variable, which is the index number, and then passing the variable called ch, right? Now, what is the next this thing? I gave the spelling as PRECED. Okay, no, not precede. Okay, sorry. Pop, no, pop operation. Into pop, we will be again, no, you will be popping out the operator on top of the stack. For that, what you need, you can declare either a character or an integer. Here I am declaring it as a character. Even though we are accepting it as a character, we will be returning it as an integer. No problem. So it will be character equal to stack on top, you know, whatever operator is there, that will be copied into a variable called ch. Listen here, on top of the stack, whatever operator is there, that will be copied into a variable called ch. Now, what is the next step? Now you have to make the stack of the top. We copied, but we are not deleting from the stack, right? So what you will do, we will be making the stack top. Now we will just copy a null value. Otherwise, what will happen? Operator, even after copying to the variable ch, it will be there in the stack. You have to make sure that it is deleted. Got it? So we will copy null. Usually for the pop operation in the stack operation and all, no? And yesterday's program number 8, I didn't give any null, but actually we have to make sure that after copying from the stack, it is deleted. So this statement will be deleting the operator on top of the stack. Okay. Now after that, what you will do? You will make top to point to the index number which is given below. Got it? You will be decrementing top. And after this, we will be returning the character, whichever or the operator which you have popped off from the stack, because you copied into the variable called ch. Now this operator will be returning back into the program. So these are the things which you have to do. I don't know which errors will be there. Okay, 7 errors. Undefined symbol I, right? So we have to define the symbol I, and now function called missing bracket. So I didn't put in any one comma, it is missing. Make the corrections. I know you people will not be listening anything. Switch case. No, statement missing semicolon.
For the case, ma'am.
Which case? Here I put a
Case of-
semicolon. Yes. Switch spelling is wrong. It's WIT. So no other errors, right? So now we will be switch. No, if you have copied, you correct SWITCH. Okay, I gave SWTICH. So the corrections you have to make for the case label. No, I had given one semicolon. It should be called